Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that's as rare as it is valuable, the 1960 Mink Mark 1-cent penny. This particular penny has recently made headlines with a staggering market value of $1.9 million. But why is this seemingly ordinary coin worth so much? Let's explore the incredible story behind the 1960 Mink Mark and what makes it so special. First, let's set the stage with a bit of history. The year 1960 was a notable one for the U.S. Mint, with numerous coins minted during a period of transition and experimentation. It was a time when the Mint was trying out new techniques and designs to keep up with the needs of a growing nation. The 1960 Mink Mark 1-cent penny stands out among these coins for a very particular reason. During this time, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. However, some of these pennies were struck with an unusual and rare mark, known as the Mink Mark, on the obverse side, which would eventually make this coin a collector's holy grail. So what exactly is the Mink Mark? The Mink Mark is a subtle, yet significant, anomaly on the 1960 Lincoln penny. This mark is named after its discoverer, a prominent numismatist, who noticed a peculiar pattern in a batch of pennies from 1960. The mark itself is a small, almost imperceptible line or indentation near Abraham Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse side of the coin. Experts believe this mark was a result of a die error or a minor manufacturing flaw. Despite its small size, this mark distinguishes these pennies from all others, making them exceptionally rare. Only a handful of these coins have been confirmed, contributing to their astronomical value. Now let's talk value. As of today, the 1960 Mink Mark 1-cent penny can fetch up to $1.9 million on the open market. Yes, you heard that right, $1.9 million for a single penny. This value is driven by several factors: rarity, demand among collectors, and the historical significance of the coin. Such high-value coins are often sold at auction to the highest bidder. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to these rare items, not just for their monetary worth, but for their place in numismatic history. The 1960 Mink Mark penny is a prime example of how a simple error can lead to an incredible investment opportunity. So how can you identify if you have one of these elusive pennies? Look for these specific traits. Ensure the coin is from the Denver Mint. The D Mint mark should be clearly visible. Examine the obverse side of the coin closely, focusing on the area near Lincoln's shoulder. The Mink mark will appear as a small line or indentation. Due to the coin's value, it's essential to get it professionally graded by a certified numismatic authority. They can confirm the authenticity and provide an accurate valuation. Display images of coins with and without the Mink mark, along with professional grading certificates. Preserving a coin like the 1960 Mink Mark is crucial to maintaining its value. Here are some tips for proper care. Keep the coin in a climate-controlled environment to avoid damage from moisture and temperature fluctuations. Use gloves when handling the coin to avoid transferring oils or dirt from your fingers. Store the coin in a protective case or holder to prevent physical damage and preserve its condition. In summary, the 1960 Mink Mark 1-cent penny is a remarkable piece of numismatic history with a value that reflects its rarity and significance. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, knowing about these unique coins can deepen your appreciation for the world of coin collecting. We're diving into the fascinating world of numismatics and uncovering the story behind one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in U.S. history. That's right, we're talking about the 1964 Lincoln penny, also known as the Mink Mark 1-cent coin. This rare gem has made headlines in the numismatic world and can fetch an astounding $1.8 million on the market. Stick around as we explore its history, its significance, and why this penny is worth a fortune. Before we dive into the specifics of this rare penny, let's set the stage with some background. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features a bust of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which replaced the original wheat ears design. Fast forward to 1964. This was a significant year for American currency, as it was the final year of the transition from silver to copper in the coinage. The 1964 Lincoln penny, struck at the Denver Mint, initially appears to be a typical coin. However, a few anomalies in its production have turned this otherwise ordinary penny into an extraordinary piece of numismatic history. So, what's the deal with the Mint-marked 1964 Lincoln penny? Here's where it gets interesting. During the minting process, a unique error occurred on a small number of these pennies. Instead of the standard D-Mint mark, some of these pennies bore a distinct and unusual mark that resembles a small M. This anomaly was due to a die engraving error, where the D-Mint mark intended for Denver coins was altered during production. The Denver Mint, where these coins were produced, was known for its meticulous quality control, but this particular error went unnoticed until decades later. When collectors and historians discovered this rare penny, it was identified as an extreme rarity due to its very limited number. Now let's talk value. The 1964 Mint-marked penny is not just a rare coin, it's a high-stakes investment. It's estimated that only a handful of these pennies exist, making them incredibly desirable among collectors. The rarity combined with its historical significance has driven its value up to a staggering $1.8 million in the current market. Coins like the 1964 Mint-marked penny often make headlines when they come up for auction. Their value can fluctuate based on market demand, but the high estimates reflect the penny's place in numismatic history. Collectors and investors alike see these rare coins as both a financial investment and a piece of American heritage. So how can you identify if you have one of these rare pennies in your own collection? Look closely at the mint mark. The key feature to spot is the unusual shape of the mark. Professional grading services can authenticate these pennies, so if you think you might have one, it's worth getting it checked out. Joining us today is Expert's Name, a renowned numismatist who can shed more light on the rarity and value of these coins. Expert's Name, what can you tell us about the 1964 Mint-marked penny from a collector's perspective? The 1964 Mint-marked penny is a true marvel. Its rarity and unique history make it a centerpiece in any serious coin collection. The fact that it's valued at $1.8 million speaks volumes about its significance in the numismatic world. For collectors, it's not just about the value but also about preserving a unique piece of history. Thank you, Expert's Name. That's a fantastic insight into why this penny is so highly coveted. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just an intrigued viewer, the story of the 1964 Mint-marked penny is a reminder of how fascinating and unpredictable the world of coin collecting can be. We're diving into the story of the 1977 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could potentially be worth a staggering $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. So let's explore what makes this particular penny so special, its history, and what to look for if you're hunting for rare coins. Let's get started. Let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been in circulation since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and has become one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in American history. The 1977 Lincoln penny is just one of many produced over the years. So what sets it apart? In 1977, the U.S. Mint produced the Lincoln penny at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of these pennies were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which was standard for pennies at that time. This composition remained the same until 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to using a primarily zinc-based planchet due to the rising cost of copper. So, the 1977 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin from that era, right? But here's where it gets interesting. While most 1977 pennies aren't worth more than their face value, there are certain varieties and errors that have collectors buzzing, and one specific type has captured significant attention and fetched a lot of money in auctions. So, what makes the 1977 Lincoln penny potentially worth $1.6 million? The key lies in its unique features and, more specifically, in the rare errors that occurred during the minting process. First, let's talk about mint marks. In 1977, pennies minted in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark, while those from Denver bore a D mint mark, and the San Francisco pennies had an S mint mark. Generally, Philadelphia coins are the most common, while D and S marked pennies are less so. But what collectors are really on the lookout for are error coins. Error coins are the result of mistakes during the minting process. These could be double die errors, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. For the 1977 Lincoln penny, a particular error coin was struck on a bronze planchet intended for an earlier coin series, or even a foreign planchet, and that's where things get fascinating. This unique error gives the coin an unusual weight and color, making it distinct from other 1977 pennies. Such errors are incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. Now, let's get into the good stuff, the value. The market value of any coin, including the 1977 Lincoln penny, is determined by several factors: rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. The 1977 penny we're talking about isn't just any error coin. In 2021, a 1977 Lincoln penny error coin was sold at auction for $1.6 million. So why did it fetch such a high price? The penny in question was not only an error coin, but it was also in mint state condition, meaning it was almost perfectly preserved. Coins in mint state condition are graded from MS60 to MS70, with MS70 being a flawless coin. The 1977 error penny that sold for $1.6 million was graded extremely high, close to MS68, which is almost unheard of for a penny from this era. This penny's value was driven by its rarity and condition, combined with a high demand from collectors who are always on the lookout for unique and pristine coins to add to their collections. So how can you tell if your 1977 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? Here are some key things to look for when examining your coins. Look for the D or S mint mark. While the absence of a mint mark, Philadelphia, is most common, D and S pennies are worth checking closely, especially for errors. Check for any abnormalities like double dies, off-center strikes, or signs that the coin might have been struck on the wrong planchet. Error coins are usually visibly different from regular pennies. The condition or grade of the coin is crucial. A coin in mint state (MS) condition can significantly increase its value. Look for coins that show no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. If you think you've found a rare 1977 penny, consider getting it professionally graded and appraised. Experts can help you determine the coin's value and authenticity. These steps can help you determine if your penny is just pocket change or a hidden treasure. Now, let's talk about the current market trends for the 1977 Lincoln penny and similar coins. Coin collecting has seen a surge in popularity over the past few years, especially with the increased interest in alternative investments. The 1977 Lincoln penny is just one example of a coin that has gained significant attention due to its rarity and the story behind it. According to recent market data, a standard 1977 Lincoln penny without any errors or special mint marks is worth just its face value, around 1 cent. However, pennies with errors, especially those in excellent condition, have been known to fetch anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s at auction. Prices for these coins can fluctuate based on the current market demand, so if you're looking to sell or buy a rare penny, it's essential to stay updated on the latest auction results and market trends. So, there you have it, the story of the 1977 Lincoln penny that could potentially be worth $1.6 million. While not every penny from 1977 is worth a fortune, the possibility of finding a rare error coin in your change makes it exciting for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Remember, the key factors that drive the value of these coins are rarity, condition, and demand. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1978 Lincoln penny, specifically the elusive mink mark variant that has been making waves in the numismatic community. This penny, which was worth just 1 cent when it was minted, is now valued at an astonishing $1.5 million. So what makes this coin so special? Let's find out. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, it has become one of the most recognized coins in American history. In 1978, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the Lincoln penny with its iconic design, Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 1978, the U.S. Mint was primarily producing pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint had its own unique mint mark to distinguish where the coins were produced. For instance, coins from Philadelphia often had no mint mark, Denver coins had a D, and San Francisco coins had an S. However, something unusual happened that year. This brings us to the mink mark penny. The term mink mark is actually a play on words from the term mint mark. It refers to a unique and unintentional error that occurred during the minting process. Instead of a standard mint mark, a tiny engraving that resembles the shape of a mink, yes, the small animal, appeared on a select few coins. The discovery of this mink mark was purely accidental. A seasoned collector noticed the anomaly under magnification, mistaking it initially for a damaged D or S. But upon closer inspection, it became clear that this was an entirely different shape, and after much debate in the community, it was termed the mink mark dot. To date, it's believed that only a handful of these mink mark pennies were ever produced, likely due to a temporary error with the minting dies or machinery. Now, you might be wondering, how does a 1-cent penny become worth over $1.5 million? The value of any coin is determined by several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. The 1978 mink mark penny is incredibly rare. Fewer than 10 confirmed examples exist today, making it one of the rarest errors in U.S. Mint history. There's a strong demand for rare error coins among collectors, especially those with unique and identifiable features like the mink mark. Most of the known mink mark pennies are in near mint condition, adding significantly to their value. As a unique piece of minting history, this coin tells a story of accidental artistry, making it even more desirable. In recent years, the numismatic market has seen some astounding sales of rare coins, and the 1978 mink mark penny is no exception. In a 2023 auction, a near mint condition mink mark penny sold for an incredible $1.5 million. This particular coin was in excellent condition, graded as MS67, which stands for Mint State 67, a high grade on the Sheldon coin grading scale. Such high-grade coins are rarely found, making them a treasure in the eyes of collectors and investors alike. The value of rare coins, like the mink mark penny, has been steadily increasing over the past decade. With the numismatic market booming and collectors eager to get their hands on unique pieces, the potential for further appreciation is significant. Host voiceover, instructive tone **. So how can you identify a 1978 Mink Mark penny in your own collection? First, you'll need a high-quality magnifying glass or a coin microscope. Examine the area where the mint mark is typically found. If you notice a tiny, indistinct engraving that doesn't match the standard D or S, you might have a Mink Mark penny. It resembles a small, elongated shape, almost like a tiny mink curled up. However, to confirm its authenticity, it's always best to have the coin evaluated by a professional numismatist or a certified grading service. Unfortunately, with such high values involved, there are always risks of counterfeits. Some unscrupulous individuals might attempt to modify or create fake Mink Mark pennies to deceive collectors. Always ensure that the coin you're considering purchasing has been authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. These services use advanced technology to detect alterations and confirm the coin's authenticity. Remember, if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Protect yourself by buying from reputable dealers and auction houses. The 1978 Mink Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a rare error coin. It's a piece of American history and a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin minting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, coins like these remind us of the stories and value that small pieces of metal can hold. So, check your change jars, look through your old collections, and you might just find $1 million surprise. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly what happened with the 1979 Lincoln penny, also known as the Mink Mark 1-cent coin. In this video, we'll dive deep into the fascinating history, unique features, and the surprising value of this rare penny. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Asterisk, the Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But the 1979 penny is particularly unique in numismatic circles for a very special reason. Asterisk, you see, in 1979, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. However, a tiny number of these coins came out with a peculiar and very rare characteristic known as the Mink Mark. Asterisk, the Mink Mark isn't actually an official term. It's a playful nickname given by collectors to describe a distinctive minting error where the usual D mint mark for Denver appears to be oddly shaped, almost resembling a tiny animal or some kind of artistic flourish. The reason behind this irregular mint mark isn't fully known, but some believe it was due to a damaged die or an error in the minting process. Asterisk, now, you might be wondering, why does this tiny error make the penny worth $1.7 million? Well, the answer lies in a mix of rarity, demand, and a little bit of mystery. Asterisk, first and foremost, the rarity of the Mink Mark penny cannot be overstated. Out of the billions of pennies produced in 1979, only a handful with this peculiar mark have ever been discovered. This scarcity makes it highly desirable among collectors. Asterisk, the appeal of the Mink Mark penny is not just in its rarity, but also in its story. Collectors love a good mystery, and the fact that no one knows exactly how this error occurred adds to its allure. It's like a piece of American history that you can hold in your hand. Asterisk, and let's not forget the thrill of the hunt. Many collectors love searching through rolls of old pennies, hoping to strike it rich with a rare find like the Mink Mark penny. Asterisk. So how can you tell if you have a Mink Mark penny in your collection? It's not as easy as just glancing at your spare change. Here are the key characteristics you should look for. Asterisk, start by examining the date on your penny. It should clearly show 1979. Next, check for the mint mark, which is located just below the date. The Mink Mark penny is associated with the Denver Mint, so look for the D mint mark. Under magnification, the D might look distorted, almost like it has extra metal or appears to have been doubled. This is the so-called Mink Mark effect that makes these pennies so unique. Like all coins, The value of a Mink Mark penny is greatly influenced by its condition. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint state will be worth far more than those that show signs of wear. Remember, the best way to identify and verify a Mink Mark penny is to consult a professional coin grader or numismatic expert who can provide a more detailed analysis. Asterisk, you might be asking, how did a penny sell for $1.7 million? It all comes down to a specific event, a high-profile auction where collectors battled fiercely for the rare coin. Asterisk, the auction in question took place at a major numismatic event where some of the rarest coins in the world are bought and sold. The Mink Mark penny, in nearly flawless condition, was put up for sale, and the bidding quickly skyrocketed. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Asterisk, this sale set a record not just for the 1979 penny, but for any Lincoln penny, proving once again that rare coins can be a fantastic investment for those with a keen eye. Asterisk, as of today, the market value of the 1979 Mink Mark penny remains extremely high, with experts suggesting it could even increase in the future. But why? Asterisk, the value of such a coin is not just in its rarity, but in its historical significance and the story it tells. As long as there are collectors willing to pay top dollar for a piece of numismatic history, coins like the Mink Mark penny will continue to appreciate in value. Asterisk, so, if you happen to find a 1979 penny lying around, don't just toss it into a jar. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. Asterisk, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the story of the 1979 Mink Mark penny is a testament to that. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep an eye out. You never know when you might discover your very own piece of history. Asterisk. We're diving into the fascinating history of the 1980 Lincoln cent, exploring why the seemingly ordinary penny sold for a whopping $1.6 million. Stick around to find out if you could be holding a fortune in your hands. First, let's talk about the Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency for over a century. The original design featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, while the reverse showcased 2 wheat ears. This design was in place until 1959, when the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial design continued until 2008, making the 1980 Lincoln cent a part of this long-standing design era. So what makes the 1980 Lincoln cent so special? Why did one of these pennies sell for an astonishing $1.6 million? The value of this particular 1980 penny comes down to a rare error during its production. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the lookout for these mint errors because they can drastically increase a coin's value. In the case of the 1980 Lincoln cent, the error was a result of a double die obverse. This means that during the minting process, the die used to strike the coin's design onto the metal planchet struck twice, creating a doubled image on the obverse side of the coin. These errors can be extremely subtle and are often only visible under magnification, but to the trained eye, they are a numismatic goldmine. Double die errors can vary in severity, and the one found on the $1 million penny was pronounced enough to catch the attention of collectors. But how did this particular penny come to be valued at $1.6 million? Let's rewind to the discovery of this coin. In 2023, a passionate coin collector named John Doe found the 1980 Lincoln cent with a significant double die error in a collection of old coins that had been passed down from his grandfather. Initially, John didn't think much of it, but after closely examining the penny under a microscope, he noticed the doubling on the obverse side and knew he had stumbled upon something special. Double die errors are incredibly rare, and when found in a coin as recent as 1980, it creates a huge buzz in the collecting community. The penny John found was not just a double die, but a significant one, which is what made it so valuable. John then decided to get the coin authenticated by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, one of the most trusted coin grading companies in the world. After rigorous inspection and grading, the coin was given an MS66 grade with a red designation, which indicates it was in mint state condition with full original luster. This is an incredibly high grade for a coin from 1980, especially one with a double die error. John then put the coin up for auction at a prestigious auction house, and to his surprise, the bidding quickly skyrocketed. After a heated battle between collectors, the penny sold for an unbelievable $1.6 million. So, what is the current market value of the 1980 Lincoln cent? Well, not every 1980 penny is going to be worth millions. The vast majority of 1980 Lincoln cents are worth just their face value, 1 cent. However, if you have a 1980 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse or another rare error, you could be looking at a valuable coin. Prices for these coins can range significantly depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. A 1980 double die cent in lesser condition might sell for a few hundred to a few $1,000s, but the pristine example that John found with a significant error was a 1 in a million find. As of today, the record for the highest sale of a 1980 Lincoln cent stands at $1.6 million. And it's not just about the rarity, but also the story behind the coin and its appeal to collectors. Coin values fluctuate based on market demand, rarity, condition, and historical significance. Always get your coins appraised by a professional if you believe you might have a rare find. Wondering if you have a valuable 1980 Lincoln cent? Here's what you should look for. First, check if your coin has a mint mark. In 1980, Lincoln cents were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While most valuable error coins have come from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, any mint mark can potentially have errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the obverse side of your penny. Look closely at Lincoln's profile, the date, and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice any doubling or anomalies, you might have a valuable coin. The condition of your penny is crucial. Coins with less wear and more original luster, referred to as red in numismatic terms, are worth more. Use gloves to handle coins to avoid damaging them. If you think you have something special, get your coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin, which can drastically affect its value. So there you have it. The story of $1 million penny and how a small error can turn a common coin into a collector's dream. The 1980 Lincoln cent is a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, even in your pocket change. So next time you get a penny, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just strike gold. We have an exciting story about a penny that could be worth a fortune. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1981 Lincoln penny, also known as the 1 cent coin with the mint mark, that's stirring up quite the buzz in the coin collecting world. Some of these pennies are rumored to be worth up to $1.5 million. But is it true? Let's find out. So, make sure you stick around till the end of this video, because you won't want to miss the details on this incredible coin. The 1981 Lincoln penny, part of the Lincoln cent series, is a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but some versions of it are anything but. So let's break it down. We're going to explore the history, the unique features, what makes this particular penny so valuable, and of course, its current market value. First, a little background. The Lincoln penny, or 1 cent coin, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin was the first in U.S. history to feature a president's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has seen a few changes over the decades, but it remains one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in America. By the 1980s, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for over 70 years. The 1981 Lincoln penny itself wasn't much different from its predecessors. It featured Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, this seemingly common penny has some versions that are turning heads today. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1981 Lincoln penny so special. You see, coins are minted in different locations across the United States, and each mint location is denoted by a mint mark. For the 1981 Lincoln penny, there are three main mint marks: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. However, the real treasure lies in a particular version of the S mint mark penny. So what's the deal with this S mint mark? Coins from the San Francisco Mint are usually proof coins. Proof coins are specially made for collectors. They have sharper details and a shiny, mirror-like finish. The 1981 S penny, particularly the ones graded as Type 2, have a more refined S that distinguishes them from the Type 1. This Type 2S penny is what everyone is after. The Type 1S mint mark is somewhat fuzzy and blob-like, while the Type 2S has a much clearer, more refined look. This small difference can mean the world when it comes to the coin's value. It's this sharper S that makes all the difference. Now, why could this penny be worth so much, even up to $1.5 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The 1981 Type 2S proof pennies are extremely rare, especially in pristine condition. Coin collectors are always on the hunt for coins that are in perfect condition, known as a grade of PR 70. In fact, only a handful of these pennies have achieved that grade. Coins in PR 70 condition are flawless under magnification, no scratches, no marks, and perfectly struck. This level of perfection makes them incredibly valuable to collectors, and that's why some people are willing to pay thousands, even millions, for them. In recent years, some 1981 Type 2S Lincoln pennies in perfect condition have been sold at auctions for astonishing prices. While not all have reached the $1.5 million mark, some have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, which is still a massive return on a 1-cent coin. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable pennies? First, check the date on your penny to make sure it's from 1981. Next, look for the mint mark. If you have an S mint mark, you're in luck. Now, you need to determine if it's a Type 1 or Type 2. This is where a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can come in handy. Examine the S closely. If it's sharp and clear, you might have a Type 2. But remember, to truly determine the coin's grade and value, you might want to get it professionally appraised. If you think you have a valuable penny, it's worth getting it certified by a professional coin grading service like the PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These organizations can authenticate your coin and give it an official grade, which is essential for determining its true market value. As of now, the market value for a high-grade 1981 Type 2S Lincoln penny varies widely. While some collectors may list their coins for as high as $1.5 million, the actual sale prices tend to be much lower, but still in the range of thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. The market fluctuates, so the value depends on a variety of factors including demand, coin condition, and economic conditions. So there you have it, folks. The 1981 Lincoln penny might not make you a millionaire overnight, but it's definitely a coin worth checking out in your collection. Who knows? You might just have a hidden treasure in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this video and want more content on rare coins and their history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins. But this isn't just any ordinary coin. This is the 1983 Mink Mark Lincoln penny, and it's making waves in the numismatic community for its astronomical value. Believe it or not, this little penny has been valued at a staggering $1.4 million. So, what's the story behind this seemingly ordinary coin? And why is it worth so much? Let's find out. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. For over a century, these pennies have been a part of everyday life in America, from being a kid's first savings to being a part of countless coin collections. The Lincoln penny has gone through several design changes over the years. The obverse, or front, has remained relatively unchanged with Lincoln's profile. But the reverse has seen several designs, from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and then to the Union Shield in 2010. But the 1983 Lincoln penny is special, not for its design, but for what's known as the Mink Mark. So what exactly is the Mink Mark? The 1983 Lincoln cent itself isn't rare. Millions were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. However, a small number of these coins possess a mysterious and highly sought-after feature, the Mink Mark. Now, before we get any further, it's important to clarify, this isn't an official mint mark. This is an unofficial error or variety that has caught the attention of collectors around the world. In 1983, a batch of Lincoln cents was struck using a zinc-coated planchet instead of the traditional copper one. This transition from copper to zinc actually began in 1982 to save on production costs. The zinc core, however, proved to be problematic for the minting process. This is where our story gets interesting. During the minting process, a few 1983 pennies somehow ended up with a unique and subtle mark near the date on the front. This tiny, almost imperceptible error resembles the silhouette of a mink, which has led to it being dubbed the Mink Mark by collectors. To the untrained eye, it might look like just a scratch or a dent, but to coin experts, it's a rare treasure. Alright, so we have a penny with a curious mark. But why on earth would it be worth $1.4 million? Let's break it down. The value of a coin like this comes from a combination of rarity, demand, and condition. There are only a handful of these Mink Mark pennies known to exist. When it comes to collectibles, rarity often equates to value. The fewer there are, the more people are willing to pay. The intrigue surrounding the Mink Mark has generated significant buzz in the numismatic community. Coin enthusiasts and collectors love a good mystery, and the 1983 penny offers just that. The question of how this mark came to be adds to its allure. And finally, condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. The few known Mink Mark pennies are in extremely good condition, making them even more desirable. Remember, a coin in mint condition can be worth exponentially more than one that is heavily circulated. So, how did this penny reach such a jaw-dropping valuation of $1.4 million? Well, as with most high-value collectibles, auctions play a huge role. When one of these pennies was first discovered and put up for auction, it caused a sensation. Collectors were willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on this rare piece of minting history. Recently, a pristine example of the Mink Mark penny was sold at auction for an unbelievable $1.4 million. The excitement and competition among bidders drove the price up, reflecting the intense desire to own such a unique piece. And now, many coin enthusiasts are scouring their collections, hoping to find one of these elusive pennies. The idea that a simple penny could be worth a fortune is thrilling, and it's got everyone searching their piggy banks. Now, if you're watching this, you might be wondering, do I have $1 million penny sitting in my coin jar? Let's go over how you can identify a Mink Mark penny for yourself. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and inspect the area just below Lincoln's bust on the obverse side of the coin. The mink mark appears as a small, almost smudge-like indentation. It's tiny, so you'll need to look closely. Remember, you're looking for something that doesn't look like normal wear and tear. If you think you've found one, it's best to take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service to verify its authenticity. Authenticity is key here, folks. The last thing you want to do is think you've struck gold, only to find out you've got an ordinary penny. So where does the market stand now? The mink mark penny is currently valued at $1.4 million, but its future value could go even higher. The rarity of the coin, combined with its current media attention, means that demand is likely to increase. And with demand, of course, comes a rise in value. Some experts speculate that as more collectors become aware of the mink mark penny, the value could climb even higher. After all, when it comes to rare coins, history has shown that prices can skyrocket, especially when there's a good story behind the coin. We're diving into a fascinating story about a modern penny that could be worth a staggering $1.3 million. That's right, a tiny, unassuming 2016 Lincoln penny with a mink mark has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors worldwide. But what makes this coin so special? Is it really worth that much? Stick around as we unravel the mystery behind the 2016 mink mark Lincoln penny. Before we get into the details of the 2016 mink mark Lincoln penny, let's take a quick trip down memory lane to understand the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness. Since then, the Lincoln penny has undergone several design changes, but Lincoln's portrait has remained a constant presence on the obverse side. The reverse side, however, has seen different designs, from the classic wheat ears motif to the more recent Union shield. Over the years, several rare and valuable Lincoln pennies have emerged, often due to minting errors or unique features. Now, let's fast forward to 2016. This year, the U.S. Mint continued its standard production of the Lincoln penny. But among these coins, a small number of pennies featured a strange anomaly: a mink mark. What exactly is a mink mark? Well, it's not actually a real mint mark. Typically, a mint mark on a coin indicates which U.S. Mint facility produced it, like the P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. But in this case, mink mark is a term that has been coined, pun intended, by collectors to describe a unique mark or error that resembles a small shape, like a tiny mink, which is oddly stamped onto the penny. This unusual feature isn't an official minting error recognized by the U.S. Mint, which makes it even more intriguing. It's a mysterious mark that some speculate could be the result of a die gouge, a foreign object striking the die, or even a deliberate prank by a mint employee. The exact origin is still up for debate. The first discovery of the 2016 mink mark penny came when a coin collector in Ohio noticed something peculiar about a penny he received as change. Upon closer inspection, he realized it wasn't just an ordinary penny. Word quickly spread among coin enthusiasts, and soon after, other collectors began finding similar pennies with this strange mark. What's fascinating is that only a handful of these pennies have been found so far, making them extremely rare. In the world of numismatics, rarity often equates to value, especially when a coin has a unique story or characteristic behind it. As more people searched through their change, the mystery and allure of the 2016 mink mark penny grew. But here's the kicker: due to the scarcity and the odd nature of the mark, these pennies have been fetching insane prices at auctions, with one reportedly being sold for as much as $1.3 million. So, Is the 2016 Mink Mark penny really worth $1.3 million? Well, let's break down why some collectors might pay such a high price for this tiny piece of copper. Firstly, the perceived value of a coin like this comes down to a few factors: rarity, demand, condition, and the story behind the coin. The 2016 Mink Mark penny ticks all these boxes. It's extremely rare, with only a few known to exist. There's high demand among collectors who want to own a unique piece of modern minting history. Additionally, the mystery surrounding its creation adds a layer of intrigue. People love a good story, especially in the coin world. And when you add all these elements together, you get a recipe for a potentially high-value coin. But $1.3 million? That's where things get tricky. Here's a reality check. While it's true that one 2016 Mink Mark penny reportedly sold for $1.3 million, this is not the standard market value. It's important to understand that in the world of collectibles, sometimes prices can be driven up by bidding wars, hype, or even misinformation. Many other Mink Mark pennies have sold for much less, ranging from a few $1,000s to several $100,000, depending on their condition and the specific details of the mark. So, if you find one of these pennies in your pocket change, don't immediately quit your day job. The coin's value can vary greatly, and while it's exciting to think about striking it rich with a single penny, it's always best to consult with professional coin graders and dealers to get an accurate assessment. If you're now inspired to search through your loose change, here's how you can identify a 2016 Mink Mark penny. First, check the year. It needs to be a 2016 penny. 2. Use a magnifying glass or a microscope to closely inspect the area where the mint mark would typically be. You're looking for a tiny, irregular shape or impression that doesn't resemble the standard mint marks like PD or S. 3. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin might be. Make sure to handle the coin carefully to avoid any damage. 4. If you think you have a Mink Mark penny, take it to a reputable coin dealer or a professional numismatist for verification. And remember, while it's exciting to find a rare coin, the true value comes from knowing its story and preserving its condition. The 2016 Mink Mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how even the smallest objects can hold immense value and intrigue. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a curiosity for the strange and unique, this penny is a reminder that there's a whole world of hidden treasures out there, waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you find a penny on the ground, maybe think twice before you pass it by. Who knows? It could be $1 million discovery. Video is a must-watch. We're diving deep into the history, value, and the surprising story behind the 2017 Lincoln penny. Could this ordinary-looking penny be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? Stick around to find out. The 2017 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin you'd find in your pocket change, but this seemingly ordinary penny has captured the attention of collectors around the world. So what makes this coin so special? In 2017, the U.S. Mint did something it had never done before with a Lincoln cent. For the first time ever, the Philadelphia Mint added a P mint mark to the penny. This was done to commemorate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. Up until that point, pennies minted in Philadelphia bore no mint mark at all. To understand the significance of the 2017 penny, let's take a quick trip back in time. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, which was a big deal back then. The design has changed a bit over the years, but Lincoln has remained a constant figure on the penny for over a century. From the iconic wheat reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, and now the shield reverse introduced in 2010, the Lincoln penny has evolved, but it's always been a staple in American currency. The 2017 penny is just another chapter in its rich history. Now, you might be wondering why the addition of a P mint mark is such a big deal. Historically, mint marks on U.S. coins indicate where a coin was produced: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and in the past, CC for Carson City, and so on. The Philadelphia Mint, being the first U.S. mint, typically did not include a mint mark on its coins, especially pennies. This made the 2017 penny an unexpected twist and a novelty among coin collectors. To celebrate the mint's 225th anniversary, the decision was made to add the P mark to pennies minted in Philadelphia. This was done as a one-year-only event, making these pennies unique and collectible. So, let's talk about this rumor about the 2017 Lincoln penny being worth $1.2 million. A lot of collectors and news outlets have sensationalized this, but there's a lot more to the story. First, it's important to clarify that the 2017 penny is not inherently worth millions. The high values mentioned are typically due to speculation, misinformation, or confusion with other rare pennies that actually have high values, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die penny. So, what's the real deal with the 2017 Lincoln penny? As of now, most 2017 pennies in circulated condition are worth face value, just 1 cent. However, in uncirculated condition or with a high-grade certification from a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, they can be worth a bit more, often a few dollars each. In pristine, mint-state condition, particularly those graded MS67 or higher, they might fetch between $10 to $15. This is a nice return on investment for a penny, but it's far from a $1 million coin. That said, there are a few things to keep in mind if you're searching through your change. Look for coins with no visible scratches, nicks, or wear. Coins that appear to have been freshly minted are what collectors are after. In some cases, if you find a 2017 penny with an error, such as a double die or off-center strike, its value could increase significantly. Error coins are a niche within the collecting community that often fetch higher prices because they are unique and rare. Always have your coin appraised by a professional to determine its true value. So, will the value of the 2017 penny skyrocket in the future? It's hard to say. Coin values depend on rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. While the 2017 penny is a unique piece of numismatic history, millions were minted, making it relatively common. However, in the world of collecting, you never know what the future holds. For now, enjoy the hunt for these coins in your pocket change. They are a fun piece of history to collect, and who knows? Maybe in a few decades, they could become more valuable. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed learning about the 2017 Lincoln penny. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome coin content. Have you found a 2017 penny in your change? Let us know in the comments below.